and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors, professionals, and even advocates, advertisers, administrators and advisors, available doctors and directors, respected ministers and managers, the most honorable President Modi, I would like to show cordially welcome. It is really nice time, nice place, nice section that we are appreciating our holy Indian culture through the words. China used Pak as live lab to test weapons during Operation Sindoor. Army says India faced trilateral axis at Beijing. Turkey fought for Islamabad. Kong renews call for parliament debate on India-China ties. China used the 4-day India-Pakistan conflict in the like a live lab to test various weapon systems and was providing all possible support to Islamabad in line with its ancient military strategy of killing the adversary with a borrowed knife. Deputy Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Rahul R. Singh said on Friday in his address at a seminar on New Age military technologies organized by industry body FICI. Lieutenant General Singh said Beijing's support to Islamabad was not surprising, as 81% of Pakistan military's hardware came from China. The Deputy Army Chief, who looks after the forces' capability development and sustenance vertical, cited China's ancient military strategy of 36 status camps and killing the adversary with a broad knife to butters. The point that Beijing extended all possible support to Pakistan to harm India. He argued that China would rather use Pakistan to cause pain to India than getting involved in a mudslinging match on the northern frontier. When the DCMO level talks were on, Pakistan actually knew the location of our missiles, which were timed and ready for action, so they were getting live inputs from China. That is one field we really need to move fast and take appropriate action, he said. The Army General also shared that India faced a trilateral axis during Operation Sindoor, and Pakistan was actively supported by China and Turkey. Kong renews call for parliament debate on India-China ties. Entering trade pact with US inside agri auto sticking points. New Delhi, Indian negotiators are optimistic about finalizing an interim trade agreement with the US well before President Donald Trump's July 9 deadline, with officials confident of protecting key domestic sectors like agriculture and dairy areas where the US has been pushing for greater access. The Indian team led by Chief Negotiator Rajesh Agarwal returned from Washington today. India was to uphold religious freedom of Tibetans as China warns of impact on ties. Dalai Lama will decide on succession. People across the world who follow the Dalai Lama want him to decide on its succession. There is no need for me or government to say anything. Who will be the next Dalai Lama will be decided by me. Kanna blames Jairam for not visiting flood-hit Mandi, triggers political storm. Today Punjab session on drugs next week. High Court judge's plea to take most disputed. Prime Minister likely to visit Maldives. Prime Minister likely to visit Maldives for a one-day event on July 26. Jaishankar will travel to China, first since January. From New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to travel to the Maldives in July and in what would be his first visit to the island nation since President Mohammad Muizzu took over in November 2023. The visit will follow a strong reiteration of Muizzu's 2024 invitation to PM Modi by Maldivian Foreign Minister Abdullah Khalil, who visited India recently. Mr. Modi may visit the key Indian Ocean country on July 26 to mark its Independence Day. Khalil's visit to India had earlier signaled the Maldives' intention to strengthen ties with India at a time when its relations with China have become a matter of concern. Also on the annual is External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's visit to China for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Foreign Ministers meeting on July 13. This would be the first time an Indian Foreign Minister would visit China after the 2020 Galvan clash, and the first time he will be at the same meeting as Pakistan counterpart since Operation Sindhur, a bilateral with Wang Yi. Chinese Foreign Minister is likely. Last month, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Defense Minister Rajnath Singh were in China for SCO meetings. Rajnath had refused to sign a joint statement after it omitted a reference to the April 23 Pahalgam terror attack. Connected by belonging, Modi hails Trinidad and Tobago PM as Bihar's VP. First foreign leaders to get nations to honor. Prime Minister Modi was honored with the highest national award, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The is the first one leader to be conferred this honor. The citation said the highest national award of Trinidad and Tobago was being conferred on PM Modi for his statesmanship for championship the priorities of the global South and for his exceptional contribution to strengthening the relationship between India and Trinidad and Tobago. From New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday celebrated India's historic ties with Trinidad and Tobago, calling the country's Prime Minister Kamala Prasad the successor Bihar ki beti, daughter of Bihar, during his address to the Indian diaspora. In a special gesture, Trinidad and Tobago conferred its highest civilian honor. The Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago on Modi, recognizing his role in deepening bilateral ties. Speaking at a community event, Modi shared that Prasad Sarah's ancestors hailed from Buxar in Bihar and that she had even visited the town. We are not just connected by blood or surname. We are connected by belonging. India looks out to you and welcomes you, he said. Praising Bihar, he said, Bihar's heritage is the pride of India and the world. It has shown the way in various fields for centuries, and new opportunities will emerge from Bihar in the 21st century as well. Prasad Visheshar holds a number of historic distinctions. The first woman to become Prime Minister, Attorney General and leader of the opposition in Trinidad and Tobago, and the first woman of Indian origin to have a government outside India and the subcontinent. She also became the first woman to chair the Commonwealth of Nations. Modi recalled her visit to India 25 years ago, noting how Indo-Trinidadian ties have strengthened since. We highlighted cultural overlaps such as street names like Banaras, Patna, Kolkata and Delhi in Trinidad, and pointed to local celebration of festivals like Navratri, Mahashivratri and Janmashtami, as well as the continued popularity of traditional music like Chotal and Heta Gana. Even though Trinidad and Tobago is smaller than Jodhpur, the Indian community has played a big role in its culture and economy. Modi said, Indian traditions live on in food, music, language and festivals, he added. About 40% of Trinidad and Tobago's population is of Indian origin. According to the Ministry of External Affairs, in a significant announcement, Modi declared that overseas citizens of India. Cards would now be available to the sixth generation of the Indian diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago. No trade deal under pressure while on US taxes. From New Delhi, India does not enter into any trade agreement based on deadlines and will accept the proposed trade deal with the US only when it is fully finalized, properly excluded and in the national interest. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal said on Friday. He also said India is negotiating free trade agreements with different countries including the European Union, New Zealand, Oman, the US, Chile and Peru. FTAs are possible only when both sides get benefited, and it should be a win-win agreement, he told reporters. When asked about the proposed interim trade agreement with the US, national interest should always be supreme. Keeping that in mind, if a deal is made, then India is always ready to deal with the US entries Goyal shared. When asked if an interim trade agreement between the two countries is possible by July 9, he said India never does any trade deal based on deadline or time frame. When the deal is done properly and is completely finalized and is in the country's interest, then we will accept it. Russia, first country to officially recognize Taliban government from New Delhi. In a major diplomatic shift, Russia has officially recognized the Taliban government in Afghanistan, the first country to do so since the group seized power in 2021. On Thursday, Moscow accepted Taliban appointed envoy Gul Hussain as Afghanistan ambassador. India, in contrast, continues a cautious but pragmatic engagement. While New Delhi has not recognized the Taliban regime, it has re-established its diplomatic presence in Kabul and permitted the Taliban to post a consul general in Mumbai. On January 8, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met Taliban officials, the highest level contact since the group's return to power. India's engagement is driven by security concerns, strategic competition with China for regional influence, and the desire to maintain leverage over developments in Afghanistan. Competing for influence, Moscow's stance towards the Taliban has shifted significantly over the past 2 decades. However, the implications of its recognition remain complex as formal international legitimacy for the Taliban still hinges on the United Nations and broader global consensus. The Taliban were added to Russia's list of terrorist organizations in 2003 for supporting insurgents in the North Caucasus. However, following the group's 2021 return, Moscow has steadily moved to normalize, removing the terror designation in April, inviting Taliban representatives to official events and opening a business office in Kabul. It has also announced plans to use Afghanistan as a transit hub for transporting gas to Southeast Asia. In July 2024, Russian President Vladimir Putin referred to the Taliban as allies in the fight against terrorism, a striking departure from Moscow's Cold War era battles in Afghanistan, which culminated in the Soviet withdrawal in 1981. While China, Pakistan and other regional powers have hosted Taliban diplomats, none have yet formally recognized Afghanistan as an Islamic Emirate. Global recognition remains elusive, with the UN continuing to refer to the Taliban as the de facto authorities. Thousands will be affected. Supreme Court jumps plea on NEET UG results. From New Delhi, noting that thousands of students will be impacted, the Supreme Court on Friday refused to entertain a petition challenging the NEET UG 2025 results on account of an alleged error in one of the questions. We have dismissed identical nature matters. We agree that there might be multiple correct answers, but we cannot interfere in an exam taken by lakhs of candidates. It is not an individual's case. Thousands of students will be affected. A bench of Justice P.S. Narasimha and Justice M. Mahadevan said. The bench pointed out that it had already dismissed an identical petition days ago, and it would not be proper to interfere on the basis of individual events with the determination of such a massive scale. The dismissal of the petition ensures that counseling for admission to various medical colleges would continue. Pune Taki's rape accused was her friend, say police. Claimed she took selfie type message. A suspect detained in connection with the alleged rape of a Pune IT professional was her friend and not a stranger who gained entry by posing as a delivery agent. The police said on Friday, casting doubt on her version of the events. It was the woman herself who took a selfie with him and typed the threatening message in her phone. Police Commissioner Amitesh Kumar shared. They know each other for a couple of years and belong to the same community, he said. The 22-year-old woman had claimed that the man who was as a career delivery agent entered her flat on Wednesday and forced himself her before leaving. The accused clicked the selfie and left a warning that he had taken her pictures and would release them on social media if she reported the incident, she told the police. But after detaining the suspect, who is a highly qualified professional, the police found that the woman herself had taken the selfie, which originally showed his face clearly, edited it and also typed the purported threatening message. Now news from Punjab. Ludhiana's Ananya tops CUET UG Ananias Jain, a student of DAB Public School on Pakhovar Road in Ludhiana, had secured All India Rank 1 AIR 1 in the Common University Entrance Test 2025 exam. She is the only candidate to score 100% right in 4 of the 5 opted subjects. She scored 100 percentile in accountancy, business studies, economics and mathematics, and 99.99 percentile in English. Ananya, who is the school topper and third in Ludhiana district in class +2, commerce results credited the success to consistent hard work, support from teachers and family, and a disciplined study plan. She shared, I focused on understanding concepts rather than the role playing, rather than the rote learning. My mentors at the school played a crucial role in my preparation. The constant and encouragement and support of my teachers has made me who I am today. Their expertise and commitment to excellence made a complex concepts accessible and enhanced by interest in subjects. Speaking on the achievement, Principal Dr. Satwant Kaur Bhular shared, we are incredibly proud of Ananya for this extraordinary accomplishment. This is a testament to her. This is a testament to her hard work, resilience, and the dedicated guidance provided by our teacher. Such achievements inspire the entire student community to aim higher. Ananya aspires to build a career in economics and statistics from Delhi University. Of the 20 top students in CUET music, 5 are from Haryana, 3 from Delhi, 1 from Punjab, 2 from Karnataka, 1 from Maharashtra, 1 from Uttarakhand, 2 from Uttar Pradesh and 1 from Gujarat. 17 candidates from across the country have bagged the top score in their 3 subjects. The NTA conducted the Cube UC in the computer-based test mode for 13,499 candidates. BJP seeks rollback of land pooling policy, urges Katrina to intervene. To storm Chandigarh, a BJP delegation on Friday met Governor Gulab Chand Kataria seeking his intervention to ensure the rollback of the state government's land pooling policy. The delegation included the state party president Sunil Jakhar and BJP National General Secretary Tarun Chugh. The policy was launched in May to boost urban development, with the government claiming that this would benefit farmers and landowners who would get plots of higher value in exchange for the land contributed by them. The policy has been rolled out for 27 urban centers. Townships will be developed near several cities, including Ludhiana, where over 24,000 acres of agricultural land is expected to be required for the purpose. It envisaged complete voluntary participation by landowners. For every 1 acre contributed by farmers, they would get a residential plot of 1,000 square yards besides a commercial plot of 200 required guides. However, earlier too, Jakhar had equated the initiative to a Ponzi scheme to loot farmers. He said were being enticed with a false or promise of for-time return on their land to benefit favored real estate players. On Friday, the BJP leaders submitted a memorandum to the governor against the policy. Interacting with media person, Jakhar termed the government's move a daylight robbery and alleged that it had been introduced only to seize land from farmers and distribute it among the ruling party's favorites. He said under the 2013 Land Acquisition Act, the consent of 80% of farmers of the affected area was mandatory and land could only be acquired for roads and national security purposes. He said the BJP stood firmly with farmers and wouldn't allow even an inch of land to be acquired without their consent. Jakhar alleged that the government was yet to frame rules and regulations regarding the policy, making its implementation dubious. Today's special session on drug issue next week. No High Court relief for SNE leader, next hearing on July 8. From Chandigarh, the High Court here on Friday denied any relief to SNE leader Vikram Singh Majitia in a disproportionate assets case lost against him by the Punjab Vigilance Bureau. The court fixed July 8 for next hearing on the plea filed by the leader against his arrest and subsequent remand. The court also asked the state council to seek instruction from the government in the matter. Majitia was arrested from his Amritsar home on June 25 in the case. A Mohali court had on July 2 extended the vigilance remand of the SNE leader by 4 days as the Bureau sought him short time to the Bureau's investigate Benami transactions involving around 402 hectares in Shimla's Mashobra. In his plea placed before the bench of Justice Tribhuvan Dahiya, Majitia had challenged the remand orders. After terming these illegal, he submitted that the case was a result of political witch hunting and vendetta initiated by the present political dispensation with the object of maligning and harassing him as he has been a vocal critic. From Chandigarh, Aam Aadmi Party government will convene a special 2-day session of the Punjab Vidhan Sabha next week over the drug issue according to sources. Moga doctor shot at by 2. Critical had received extortion threats. From Farid Court, 2 men entered a clinic in Moga on Friday and opened fire at a doctor, leaving him severely injured. The incident took place around 1 p.m. at Urban's nursing home in Court Ishi Khan town. The clinic was located just 100 meters from the local police station. According to eyewitnesses, the 2 men paused as patients and fired multiple rounds at Dr. Aniljit Kamboj. Amritsar police bust narco arms module with links to Pak, Malaysia. No water at tail of No water at tail end of canals, complain farmers in Lumbini. After heavy rain in Himachal, local administration starts flood protection works. Our demand surges to record 16,983 MW. CRPF ex-DSP killed son over property. Farm union support dispute over movie on grow. Chima for structural changes in GST. Faridpur DSP held for attempting to bribe SSP's reader. Former principal Bal's victim to digital arrest scam loses 1.27 crore rupees. Asks as you model a failure, Bajwa says. Government school in 4 districts top nation in imparting learning skills. News from Chandigarh. Government schools in Barnala, Malerkotla, Taran and Hoshiarpur have emerged as best performers in imparting learning skills to students in languages, mathematics and science subjects in the country. In a detailed district-wise analysis in the Bharat Rashtriya Survekshan 2024 released by the Union Education Minister, students of class 3rd, 6th and 9th have not only outperformed students of their districts but have also bettered the national average score. Sharing detailed officials said Jalandhar, Fatehgarh Sahib, Moga, Kapurthala, Amritsar, Fazilka, Ludhiana and Pathankot are among the poor performing districts. In this survey, 2,198 schools, 8,947 teachers and 72,381 students participated. Punjab outperformed all other states, including Kerala, the most literate state in India. In the evolution of learning outcomes among students of class 3rd, 6th and 9th according to the survey, against the national average of 64%, class 3rd students scored 82% in languages, while girls have outscored boys. Similarly, class 6 students scored 74% score against the national average score of 57%. Another interesting aspect that has emerged in the survey was that not only rural students have performed higher than overall national average, the state government schools have also performed higher than overall national average. Only 42% of students of class 9 opting for skills courses. Despite 54% of schools offering these, only 45% teachers participated in service training programs. Near 17% pupils reported teasing and 13% reported physical bullying. Now news from Haryana. High Court refuses to grant interim stay on felling in DLF project. News from Chandigarh. Just about a fortnight after the Punjab and Haryana High Court took suo motu notice of the Tribune report alleging felling of 2,000 trees across 40 acres. Reportedly to make way for a real estate project. A division bench today did not grant stay in the matter. There is no question of any stay. We will take it up next week, the court asserted. The bench of Chief Justice Shil Nagu and Justice Sanjeev Berry said it was prima facie clear on recorded that DLF had legitimate permission. Now if you insist I can reject your interim prayer, the Chief Justice said. The bench at the same time directed DLF to place before the court the license granted for developing the project. This court is of the considered view that the relevant license granted in the favor of respondent DLF by Haryana Town and Country Planning sometime in 1995-6 is required to be produced. Therefore, DLF is directed to produce the license for the area in question, in regard to which the permission for felling of trees has been granted, it said. The bench said the Forest Department had given respondent DLF permissions. Now, either you challenge those permissions which appear to be prime facie lawful. If you get a favorable order from the higher court, well and good, otherwise you have to see the next remedy against permission to fell trees. There must be an appeal on something. A council appealing for one of the applications seeking intervention submitted earlier during the course of hearing that designated place on the government land in the area earmarked for a school had been converted into a stockyard for the builder for keeping construction materials. Seeking at interim stay, retired Professor cum Advocate Amita Singh claimed 40,000 trees had been removed. They have already cleared off 50 acres and now hardly 40 acres is left. You need to give an ad interim stay. Kindly appoint an amicus and a local commissioner so that we proceed little more legitimately. It's a fight between a David and a Goliath. We have to take consideration to the fact that they are very powerful people and in Nexus they are more powerful. Another application, Lieutenant Colonel Sarvadaman Singh Oberoi also raised certain issues while seeking appointment of an amicus curiae. In its reply, the Forest Department said the permission granted was conditional and not absolute. Permission has been granted for felling of 2,788 trees, of which 1,623 are of Prosopis juliflora or thicker trees. Further, the concerned applicant has been asked to transplant 79 trees after taking into consideration their species, age, other factors which primarily includes people and burger trees. The report added, referring to commensurate afforestation, it said the applicant had been directed to plant 10 times the number of trees to be fed. The case will now come up on July 10. Khattar urges municipal bodies to hold formal house sessions like Parliament. Structured debates will ensure transparency and accountability, says Minister. From Gurugram, Union Minister for Power, Housing and Urban Affairs Manolal Khattar today called for urban local bodies ULBs to conduct their proceedings in a structured format similar to session of the Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. He said such practices would promote transparency, accountability and better urban governance similar to the Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. Urban local bodies should also conduct common house session chained by a person elected in the manner of the speaker. This would help establish a more transparent and accountable system of governance, Atal said. He was addressing the National Conference of Chairpersons of Urban Local Bodies, which he chaired in Gurugram. Atal highlighted that this was the first time such a large-scale national conference of urban local body representatives had been held. He described the event as a milestone in capacity building for urban governments, adding that similar forums should be regularly organized to share best practices and challenges. He also emphasized the importance of leveraging digital platforms for wider participation, enabling broader public engagement in decision-making processes. Wider engagement will empower more people to contribute and help transform the face of our city, he said. Haryana Vidhan Sabha Deputy Speaker Dr. Kishan Lal Midha, also present at the event, stressed the need to go beyond the idea of smart cities. Representatives of urban local bodies should strive to make their cities not just smart but also capable, inclusive and sustainable, so that the vision of a developed India becomes not just a goal but a ground reality shared. Echoing this sentiment, let us take break.